Golf shoe review, golf shoe review, golf shoe review, golf shoe review, golf shoe review. Right, you can stop that now. Hello, and welcome to Michael Berry Golf's presentation of Golf Shoe Review with your host, Michael Berry. So, I'm going to review and share my thoughts on some golf shoes, old and also current golf shoes. Some of you might find this informative, some of you might have had these shoes, some of you might be thinking of buying these shoes. So I will give my honest opinion on today. I'll be reviewing the shoes in 4 different areas, and that is the price, their looks, how comfortable they are, and their endurance. Then I'll be giving them a score out of 5 stars. Some of you might not agree with my scoring, but I'm doing the review, you're not. So let's make a start. Yeah.
3 days later.
As I said, we're going to be reviewing some old shoes and more current shoes. So let's start with our first pair. It's the Tiger Woods 13. Now, some of you who are interested in your shoes might recognise these. So these were, well, I presume, such a long time ago, released in 2013 for a certain Tiger Woods. And I remember when I saw these were like the new generation of like trainer running shoes. Because before, golf shoes were quite clumpy, you know, not that athletic, and definitely nothing that looked like a trainer when these came out. So when I first saw them, you know, had to get them. And I remember them being really, well, surprisingly, well, comfortable, very much, as they said on the tin, very trainer-like, very, very comfortable, stylish, and the like. And obviously underneath you've got all these little spiky, grippy things that, in my opinion, was a bit over the top, but gave you incredible traction and support. And you actually felt quite flat-footed with the width, so that was quite cool. Yeah, I mean, there's really much else to say about these. At their retail, they were probably at the time, and I can't remember how much they were. They were 150 quid, about 150 pounds. Which at the time, yeah, it was quite expensive, but like I said, there's nothing on the market that was like these. But recently, they've had almost a comeback, because Nike have released these. They've released the 2013 shoes again, but in white. But they're going for ridiculous money now. I mean, it's for a re-release of these shoes. I think they're £200 they went for, which I think is completely outrageous. But I think these were their best. Of all the Tiger Woods designs, and we've got one later on to show you, these were, I think, the most comfortable and the best looking ones. So looks. So, it's not your typical golf shoe. Definitely isn't your typical golf shoe. Looks, in black, I prefer it to the white. I don't think it's too bad. When they're on, they look really, I think they look quite cool, actually, to be honest. Maybe a few out there probably absolutely hate them, but I don't care. These are very old now, so they are kind of worn out, but they still, you know, have that look. When you put them on, people definitely do look and think, what have you got on there? Probably because you think you're a right idiot, but they still turn heads, even 10 years later, they still turn heads. So I think they look pretty good, to be honest. Still stylish, functional, modern. Yeah. So what about comfort? Again, I think that's what Tiger Woods, I think back in the day, wanted. He wanted a shoe. So his reasoning was, I don't know if someone could correct me, that why would, he trains and works out in trainers and wears trainers all day long. Why wouldn't he want that same comfort and feeling around the golf course? So again, when you're walking around the course, these at their time were so comfortable. You felt like you're wearing a trainer. You've got padding at the back, lots of support for a trainer golf shoe. It was a lot of support in the heel, quite a lot in the heel there. Perfectly balanced all the way through, so it was super, super comfortable. No issues there. What about endurance? So when I talk about endurance, I'm talking you're doing, an 18-hole round. You might try and do 36, and sometimes, depending on the course, walking even 18 holes can be quite tiresome. And afterwards, if you're wearing the right shoe or the wrong shoe, or if you're wearing the right shoe, you could find that your feet get quite tired, start to ache. So, how would I rate these in endurance-wise? Well, I'd say for endurance, they're pretty good. They are. Your feet don't tend to hurt things or like it. It's just a trainer at the end of the day. So trainer-wise, everyone wears trainers, and I can't say that people do a lot of walking in them for their feet hurt. So endurance-wise, if you're wearing 36 holes, you probably wouldn't tell after a while. You wouldn't feel like your feet are aching, especially on the toe areas. It's quite soft. The synthetic leather that they have here is pretty good. So it's, you wouldn't find too much of a problem on discomfort on long walking holes or courses for that matter. I have to apologise for my throat and my voice. I have a cold. All this rain we've been having in England at the moment, it's cold, damp weather, it's got to my head. So I apologise if I sound a bit weird. But yeah, so let's get these shoes a rating. What would I rate these? So for price, at the time, I think I think that's quite standard shoe price at the moment, 150 quid. For what they are and how they've lasted, I think that's quite a good value for money. So I'm going to give price a 4.5 out of 5. Looks, again, it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I think the looks have stood the test of time. I still think they look quite fancy, still quite stylish, quite modern, even after all these years. So I'm going to give looks, again, a 4.5 out of 5. Comfort. As I said, these are basically trainers for the golf course. So you won't find a shoe as comfy, I think, for the money. Probably more comfy shoes out there like Ecos and things like that, but yeah, I think you're pretty good. So I'm going to give these a 4 out of 5. What about endurance? Just repeating myself here now, I think it's exactly the same as the comfort. You're walking around, you could walk 36, 2-3 days on the trot with these on it, and your feet wouldn't hurt so much. So again, there could be better shoes out there, there probably are, but at their time I think there was nothing like these. So I'm going to give these a 4 out of 5. So yeah, one shoe down, a few more pairs to go. Right, here comes our next golf shoes. Let's see what we've got here now. Ooh, come in a box. I'll explain why these are in a box. Right, the FootJoy Premier golf shoes. Now this was a bit of a left field decision for me to get these, to be honest. And I don't know if in a minute you'll see a running theme as to why I got these shoes. There's nothing to do with this guy down here.
Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, oh, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious.
But yeah, again, I just wanted a bit of something different, and I'll tell you why these shoes put me off originally. Back in the day, I mean, these type of golf shoes have been around. They're so classic. They've been around for ages, haven't they? As a typical traditional golf shoe. And what always put me off wearing these or buying a pair of FootJoys was, again, maybe it was just because they were an older shoe, only the older generation wore them. But around the edges, when years ago I tried them on, because they're like quite very good leather, I just found they cut into the ankle or the foot a bit, and that always put me off thinking, well, why would I put on an uncomfortable pair of golf shoes, especially ones that looked like this? But roll on a few years ago, when again a certain Mr. Tiger Woods turned up to the Masters wearing these. In being the sucker that I am, I went and tried a pair on. And lo and behold, they were, out of the box, really comfortable. And obviously, they looked half decent too. I've never had a pair of white golf shoes like these before, so these were a first for me. But yeah, let's talk about price. And I think this is probably this is the type of golf shoes now that are starting to hold their price because they are so good and so popular. So these are retailing for about 170, between 165, 170 to 180 odd pound now. And that hasn't changed in the last 2-3 years. So the last 2 years I've had these, or however long, these have not changed or come down in price. There's no offers, there's no these. Even if you want to buy these now, a brand new pair are exactly the same price as they were a few years ago, which I think is quite unbelievable. They're just so popular, I think, because they're such a good quality shoe and a quality brand that they can hold their price, I think. So price-wise, I think that's just, I mean, it shows it's a decent shoe because it just holds its price, and it's a popular golf shoe with those who know how to play. And I've seen good players around, and 9 times out of 10 they're always wearing, pretty much always a pair of these. Always a pair of these. So price-wise, yeah, they're about that much. What about looks? Traditional looks, very traditional. They are modern, but at the same time classic. So they've got this modern sole, and I went with the metal spikes. Don't know if you can hear that. Why? Because I've always wanted to try them out. You know, through all the shoes I've had, either had no spikeless or even soft spikes. I just thought, well, I fancy giving these spikes a go because it just gives a bit more traction. And if you can get a shoe with these on, I definitely recommend them. I'm not sure, you sound like a right horse going around, you know, clonking around the clubhouse and around the grounds of the course, but it's a tad embarrassing walking around. But these offer amazing traction, very rarely slip. I've worn these in like muddy, wet conditions, believe it or not, being a white golf shoe, and the grip these offer, not so much the tread pattern, but with these spikes. Do you mind? I'm trying to record a video here. Offer amazing traction, and if you can, I definitely recommend. If you've never had spiked things before, I definitely recommend them. Really do recommend them, especially on these shoes. It half makes you look like you know what you're doing, even if you don't know what you're doing. So looks, again, from looking from down, they fit really nice. They take a while getting used to, especially if you're not used to wearing traditional loafer type of golf shoes. But when you get used to them, they are very comfortable golf shoes, and they look really nice. So going on to comfort, you wouldn't think it, but these are really, really comfortable. It's like I said, straight out of the box, you're thinking, like when I said, I thought, oh, it's going to be cutting into my ankle, this leather bit. But surprisingly, as soon as you put them on, you find they don't. They take a bit of time to bed and wear in. Well, I wouldn't even say that. They don't take that long to bed and wear in. But when you do, the leather softens up and they are just comfortable. And you could, you know, you walk in the first few holes thinking, oh, it's going to be a bit awkward and might be a bit clumpy and a bit weird to play golf in. But surprisingly, as a golf shoe, they've got this Dry Joy, I don't even know what it says under there, Ortholite sole, which I think transforms the shoe. So it's a decent sole in there. It feels great. You've got a bit of soft leather, suede, you know, very, very comfortable golf shoe. So it's got leather inner, leather outer, just leather. Think of the cows. But yeah, this is a very good shoe. So what about endurance? Now, being so comfortable, I have found that if you're playing 18, 36, whether it's just my old bones, but when I've been wearing these recently, the last few holes, they just seem, your feet get a little bit tired in these. They start to hurt. So I don't know why that is. But I just seem to find when you're walking those final few holes, or maybe you're doing 36, your feet, you start to notice. You start to notice these. That's the only thing I would notice or say about these shoes, that when you're doing a lot of long walking, long courses, you're going to notice them at the end. So at the end of 18 holes, probably around 15, 16, 17, 18, you're going to notice. It's still comfortable, but yeah, the more you wear them, I think the more you find out. So what would I rate these? Price-wise, it's a lot of money for what they are. If you want a traditional, sturdy, high-quality product that's going to last, and I think these will last a very, very long time. They're good, and I've had a few pair of these now, as you'll see in a second. They're good value for money, but the fact that they are still the same money and don't really show signs of coming down, I think I can only give this probably a 3.5 out of 5. It's just that little too expensive, just that little bit. But again, you might disagree with me because they are very good shoes, very high quality, sturdy, you know, top of the range, top flight shoes. But I just think they're just out of reach for most people. So what about looks? Again, they're not your typical, you know, flashy, stylish, youthful trainer, even traditional golf shoe, but they are, it depends on what, with FootJoy, you probably know, there are loads of styles, there are loads of things you can do, you can change this one, like, different styles. So there's one for you out there to find. If you don't like these ones, the little leather thing, you can get plainer ones, but they don't come with the spikes, they're just these little rough things. You can get the leopard skin ones, or the crocodile skin, I mean. Leopard skin, that'd be weird, wouldn't it? Probably is like a leopard skin, but crocodile skin across the toe and around here. There are totally different colours you can get. You can even customise these yourself, so that the range is pretty much endless. But I think looks, if I was going to give them a rating, it'd probably be 4 out of 5. I'm only saying these because I've got them, so I've got to think they look good. I wouldn't buy them, would I? What about endurance? Again, this is a tough one. Super comfortable. Would I want to walk 36 in these? I just don't think so. I think there are more comfortable shoes out there. If you're doing a lot of walking, or you don't use buggies, trolleys, I don't think these are the ones for you. I really don't. You might be fine not getting one with them, but I just don't think these would be for you. So I'd give these a 3 out of 5. But, well, yeah, that's those. On to our next one. And these aren't the bag for them, by the way. These are the Todd Schneider Premier Series little bag carry thing. Oh, would you look at them? These are the DryJoy, the FootJoy Premier Series shoe. And let me review this for you. It's exactly the same shoe we just looked at, but in black. On to the next one. And I have to make a confession here. I've not worn these yet. And for those listening in England, you'll know why. Over the last couple of months we've had atrocious rain, wind, snow, pretty much everything. And the courses have just been like this. So there's not a chance I'll be wearing these anytime soon. But let's look at them anyway. So it's going to be like a half review. So, but let's look at these. Ooh, see if I can get them out. These are the TW20 golf shoes. I'm not sure if you're picking up a trend here, but yes, these were quite hard to come across, as I'll explain in a bit. These shoes have been made famous by this guy, this guy, this guy, and many more. But I think mostly by this guy. Do you think Scotty Scheffler looks like Buzz Lightyear and Elvis if they had a baby? Just saying. Funny looking lad. But annoyingly good at golf. Like, annoyingly good at golf. So he's kind of made these kind of come back into the limelight a bit. The predecessor to these, I can't remember the name now, but they look like this. And they were the shoes that won, or the shoes that Tiger Woods was wearing when he won the Masters a few years back. So yeah, again, I'm a mug who sees these professionals on TV, look at wearing shoes, and I keep an eye on equipment and what people are wearing, and I noticed that Scotty Scheffler was wearing these. And a few times now I've been watching Good, I've watched a few Tour Browns, and more players and people are starting to wear these. But there's only one problem. You can't buy them in the shops anymore. Because these are TW20s, again, the release date of 2020, nearly 3 years old now, you're only going to find them on places like StockX, eBay. Even then, the sizes are so limited and they come in wide. So I think eBay have sold mostly wide ones, wide versions of these. To try and find a good pair or brand new pair is pretty hard to do. But yeah, let's talk about them. So it's TW20, for again, traditional looking golf shoe. Maybe you've got a pair. maybe you don't have a pair, maybe you don't even want to think about buying a pair like these. But yeah, so these are in white, and I looked at the difference between white and black. Here they are now. And I just prefer the white ones, so I bought them. Again, let's talk about the price. On eBay, you're looking for the wide ones in any sizes from like Korea and that part of the world. You're looking at about £180. So roughly whereabouts where they'd be now, or back when they were released. But I got these, as you can probably tell by the tags, I haven't even taken the tag off. I got these from StockX, and I had no idea how to use it. I pretty much just put numbers in and paid for it. But yeah, these are starting to become a very rare golf shoe. Ones where, and I'm not going to do it because I'm going to wear them, so I wear all my golf shoes, where you could probably make a good bit of profit on them, especially because of the size. So price-wise, yeah, that's how much they're going for. So anywhere between, I've seen on StockX now, between 240 quid. I didn't pay that, just so my wife knows. I did not pay 240 quid only. I did not. I didn't pay 240 quid. Yes, that's what they're going for at the moment. But let's talk about the looks. There you go. Do you know what? It's all falling apart here. I need to get like a new studio, don't I? There we go. Steady. Let's talk about the looks. I like them. Very traditional looking, clean. You know, you've got the Tiger Woods insignia there. You've got the Tiger insignia at the top there embossed. You know, the Nike. From the side, it almost looks like a bit of a bowling tennis shoe, let's put it that way. But again, you wouldn't really want to wear these in anything but dry weather. But you've got some venting or fake venting at the back, a little design accent underneath. I think it's quite cool. When you finish your pose, the TW there and the Nike embossed raised, and the TW in the sole. Soft spikes there, which I might change. Zoom sole here, so again, very comfy, and I have tried these on. So when it comes to comfort, again, very comfortable. I think it's that cross between traditional and, you know, trainer. I think when it comes to like, let's get these back up. I think you could say they're pretty much kind of the same shoe, sort of. But whereas this is full leather and is more of like a loafer shoe, like almost like a going out shoe, traditional, very stylish, posh. This is more like it's a crossover. So I'd say these are more crossover shoes. So you've got that traditional look, that elegance, that sleek, long lines, but then you have got the feel of it being a trainer. Yeah, I've only tried one at home, but that's the feel you get. It's a weird kind of crossover. And I mean, from looking down below, and all these shoes you'll see, little pictures of them more detailed, close-up pictures of them. But they look a bit, I wouldn't say clumpy, but a bit blown up. I mean, when they're wearing and stuff, I think they're a little bit better, but they're a bit blown up. So for the looks, for me, and I'm quite fussy when it comes to shoes, but when you look down on them, it looks like you've got an inflated foot. Whether you like that, I don't know. But again, very clean, very stylish, simple golf shoes. Comfort, same as all the Nike shoes, I will keep saying it. It's that Air Zoom technology. So you've got the very padded sole at the bottom, nice sole inside, all padding on the inside, cushioning, good supportedness, if that's even a word. A very comfortable golf shoe. You won't be disappointed. But the only problem with these is if you are buying them online, get them If you've already got Nike shoes, try and get in the same size as them. I don't like buying shoes off the internet. I really don't. Because you can't try them on. If you get them, they're too tight, too loose. You can't. So it's a bit of a gamble buying on internet when it comes to shoes like this, especially spending a bit of money on them. Yeah. They're very comfortable, but I won't know how they are on the course. So therefore I can't give you the information, can I? Endurance, yeah, I don't think it's applicable here at the moment because I haven't tried them out. Again, I can imagine them being quite comfortable. That's all I can say on them at the moment. I'll have to come back to you in another video and let you know how I get on with them. Downsides, they're white. White shoes. If you live in America, where it doesn't rain, or anywhere where there is no rain, perfect. Anywhere else in the world, and even in the summer in England, we get dust. And all in here, especially if they get dust in your shoe, these are going to go brown. Just almost guarantee it. Guarantee it. It's all going to go brown. Horrible brown ickiness. It's going to stain. If you scuff this, I can just tell it's going to scuff. But then you'll say, Michael, why did you buy them then? If they're just going to go manky. Well, it's because I can. And I wanted them.
Simples.
And you know, so what's the point if you're going to wear them once or twice a year? But those once or twice a year, you look pretty cool wearing them. So you just got to pick and choose when you wear them. And yeah, they're there to be worn. They're not a museum piece. So you're going to get them a bit icky and a bit brown. But something else. That's the only downside I say of white shoes in general. Unless you live in a really hot country where there's not much dust and dirt around. Perfect. England, I'd give them a second thought. If you can find a pair, you want to get them, fair enough. But that's the only downside to these shoes. So, what am I going to rate them out of 5? So price. Yeah, if you want to buy them now, I'd say the price is definitely a 2 out of 5. 2 stars out of 5. You're paying for, not necessarily the name, but you're paying for the fact that you can't buy them anywhere. The rarity. So for me, that's got to be a 2 out of 5. It's just not worth. I don't think they are, but they're not. It's a weird place for these to be. They're not worth the price that you're paying for them now. What about the looks? Well, I really like the looks. Really, really, really like the looks. Like I said, they're very popular now because you've got ones like Scotty Scheffler wearing them, Sung Kim, I think I said his name, wearing them, and they look really good on the course. Really good. So I'm giving these a 4 out of 5. Comfort, yeah, same with most all Nike shoes again. They're a weird comfort, you feel like you're a bit high up on them. But again, very comfortable. Wouldn't see a problem wearing these. For more 18 holes, or 36 holes, so I think very comfortable. So I give these a 4.5 out of 5. And endurance, I can't say. It's not applicable here because I haven't worn these on the course, so I can't leave an honest review on what these are like walking multiple holes and how they will fare, how your feet will fare. But I can imagine them pretty good. Right, on to the next.
Ow!
Right, now for our last pair of shoes. Let's go. And we're going to start seeing a theme here. Not necessarily a theme, but type of brand that I like. So, these are a pair, and excuse the battered box, a pair of Jordans. Specifically, Jordan 4s. Again, I have worn them Jordan 4s. Let me know what you think about these shoes, everyone. What can I say? Basketball shoes for the course. Yeah, I don't know. I've worn these a few times now, and I think if you're, I don't know if people who like basketball play golf. I don't understand really what market these are going for, especially here in England. I don't really know. Because I know probably the people who wear Jordan 4s around here don't like golf. I can probably guarantee you that. But these were released a year or two back now. And again, you get them in different colours now. You get them ice blue, which looks like this. You get the Masters version, which looks like this. Multiple colours. But again, I decided that I like these in black. More for practicality than anything else, because unlike white golf shoes, they're not going to get super dirty. Dusty, yes, but it's definitely not super dirty. And there's not really too many crevices and holes for them to get mud in and stuff like that. But let's talk about the price. So, again, when these came out, these sold out like hotcakes. These were gone, especially these Jordan 4s. I bought them on a website called Function 18. They sold out. I didn't get them when they came out. I was a bit too late on that train, but they're all sold out instantly. Because people who collect trainers, when they know they're in golf shoes, and I suppose trainer collectors, they buy all sorts of stuff. So any type of Jordans, they're looking around and they see this get certain, even if they're a pair of golf shoes, they think, oh, Jordans sold them, and buy them, and they can sell them online. So I did actually buy these on eBay, and these were £200. Even on release, they were about that price. No, they were exactly how much they were close to £200 even on release, because just of the Jordan brand, the fact that they were Jordan 4s, maybe the colourway at the time. Very popular, and just sold out instantly sold out. What about the looks? It's a Jordan 4, it's a basketball golf shoe. I mean, you pay for exactly what you get on the tin. It says exactly what it says on the tin. It might not be to everyone's taste, and I mean, when you're wearing them, compared to the normal trainer, these are slightly more beefed up, I'd say, than the trainer. They are a little more bulbous, a little more fatter, they've got more padding in them. I think because maybe because it's a golf shoe, they're a lot more padded out, try and fit more of this plastic sole on the bottom. It's a bit more beefier, a bit more rigid than I suppose the trainer. I've never worn Jordan 4 trainers, but I presume that these are a bit more sturdier than the trainer versions. What about the comfort? Again, comfortable. And I say this with hesitation because they are comfortable. They are, and I haven't worn them in a long time. Mainly because I don't want to wreck them. I want to wear them in nice weather. And they're a shoe you want to show off. You don't want to wear them as shorts or just show them off in nice weather. Not get them too muddy and horrible. But I wouldn't say they're the most comfiest. When you put them on, yes they are, and you have to wear the right sock. Because there's certain points on this shoe. If you're, you know your socks and stuff, which might sound weird, but if you wear certain socks with them, they can rub a bit. But in all honesty, they are comfortable. Whether you like high tops or not, I don't know. That could affect some people on how you roll your ankle with golf. So if you're swinging right-handed and you finish like that and you roll, onto your side a bit, it doesn't offer much in the way of give. When you've tied the laces up, don't let your foot roll as much as possible. So you feel a bit restricted in these, if that makes sense. So you feel a little bit restricted. So on comfort, that's what I'd say. That. And endurance, again, I don't think I really want to be walking 36. I think by 18, I think you're pretty glad to be getting these off, I think. And that's the last time. I haven't worn these in a while, but I remember that's kind of what I felt. It was like, yeah, I'm kind of wanting to get these off. Not because they were super uncomfortable, but maybe because I think I was wearing the wrong socks. And with me, I suffer if I have with the sock stitching, it's on my little toe, it can rub a bit. And on these, the way it just pinches your shoes on the corners, if that bit of fabric is on the corner of your toes, it can rub and it'll cause a bit of friction and maybe a few blisters. So that's the only downside to these that I've found. Personally, they rub a little bit on your toes. The sizing's fine, but I just think just for the, yeah, for what you thought, I thought these would be, they're just a bit not. But again, very stylish, classic looking trainer shoe, which could become quite retro in the future. Can you stop, please? Problem with having props on set, they could just go anywhere. Yeah, so there we go. So, price. It's a little bit steep, but you are buying collector's items. So shoes these days are collector's items. You know, they're just, yeah, that's what people do, they collect shoes, so the price of them can just be astronomical, because you're not, when they release these kind of shoes, they're not going to release them again. They're not making loads of them. So if you miss out on them, and you want to get a pair in a year's time, 6 months, whatever the time frame is, if you miss out on them, they're going to be more expensive than they sell at retail on the original release date, because they are collector's items, fortunately. The other shoes I've shown you aren't collector's items. When it comes to like Jordans and other shoes, they are collector's items. So if you want a pair, you can get them, but expect to find them quite expensive unless you buy them there and then. Even then, they're still expensive. So price-wise, I'd probably give them 3 out of 5, just for the fact that, you know, they are on the tad side of expensive just for golf shoes, and they're definitely not everyone's cup of tea. Looks wise, well, they look exactly like a Jordan 4. As a golf shoe, definitely turn heads. People think you're wearing trainers. Oh, what's that guy wearing trainers on a golf course? Until you show them that, and you're like, haha, these are golf shoes. So just for that, I mean, you may get fed up with that, or I think everyone's looking at you because you're wearing trainers, and so, you know, they're quite funky. So I'd give them a good 4 out of 5. As a golf shoe, and this is what we're reviewing, I'm going to give them a 3.5. 3.5 out of 5. So don't think, traditionally wise, it look much of a golf shoe, and yeah, it looks like you're wearing trainers on a golf course. More than the other ones, to be fair. Comfort. This is tough, because they are comfortable, because they're trainers. I think they've just gone trainer and slapped this hard plastic sole to them and just called them trainers. I don't think they've really thought about the way your foot's going to work, rolling over, twisting. There's not much mobility in them. So when it comes to comfort, the other shoes we've just looked at, they're nowhere close to the flexibility and the golf, mind, just the whole kind of, they're just not what I think. If you're a serious golfer and you want to have good rounds, feel like you can move, twist, have all the movements of your feet and confidence, I don't think these are the ones for you. They are good, but you feel like your feet are clamped in boots. I mean, that's pretty much what they are, really. They're boots. These are boots, and you know those big giant red boots from Mega Man? These ones. That's what it feels like, what you're wearing. It feels like you're wearing those on the golf course. That's what it is. Endurance. Yeah, you're not going to be want to walk in. it's so tough because I haven't worn these in a while, but I just think you're not going to be walking more than 18. You're really not. Whether they're dry, wet, whatever conditions. In a buggy, great. Obviously you're not walking, so yeah, fair enough. But if you're walking 18 holes, unless you're used to these cover shoes and you can get over the fact that you're a bit locked in, I just don't think they're great for more than 18 holes of golf, to be honest. Yeah, and they just... What is going on here? Anyway, just looks-wise, I think it's... Yeah, just have to blur this out. Yeah, they're just a bit moon bootish. Should be just jumping in space wearing these. That's my opinion. So I think that's the downside to these. I think it's just the fact that there's not much mobility in them. So if you've got a pair, maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. But just for mobility alone, I don't really think you should buy these. I really don't think so. I don't think they're brilliant for mobility. More just for the fact to say that you've got them. I've got a pair of Jordan 4 golf shoes. You know, look at these, these are cool. Oh, cool, yeah, man, they look like Jordan 4s, but they're golf shoes. Yeah, cool, wicked. But as an actual golf shoe, I don't think it's really doing it for me. So endurance-wise, I would give it probably a 2 out of 5. But yeah, so those are them. So would I recommend you buy them? Start with these. Tiger Woods 13s. Would I recommend that you buy a pair? Well, it's too late. You're 10 years too late. In black, I'm not sure if they'll release a pair of black ones. You'll never find a pair. If you do, you're going to be paying, I saw on StockX, a pair for £400 for black ones, original ones, I suppose. You buy the new ones, you're looking at 230 quid for a new pair, £200 plus. Would I buy them? I don't know. If I were you, if you like Tiger Woods, you like Nike, you like the brand, you've got 200 and something quid laying around, you want a pair of summer white shoes, a bit of retro, because it's retro now, they've come back, remake, go ahead, knock yourselves out. Would I buy these? Or would I recommend that you buy these? So obviously I've bought them. I would, if you're a good golfer who plays for high standards, you want something sturdy, classic, and that's very good, you know, well made. Again, these have got the spikes on as well. As a good winter, especially in winter, you can buy a pair of black ones, they just wipe off so easy. But for a very stable, solid, comfortable, traditional, modern golf shoe, I would recommend buying these. I would. I'd give them a go. Go and at least try a pair on. You might be surprised. You know, I don't think these would be many people's cup of tea or many people's, you know, first choice, or might not have had to try these on. But I would go and try these on, and maybe you'll be a bit surprised. Now, would I buy these if I was you? No, because you're not a mug like me who likes Tiger Woods, who likes his clothes, who likes his shoes, anything that he wears, any clubs that he uses. You're not the mug who goes and buys those things just because he's using them, whereas I am. Or you're not the mug who sees a pair of golf shoes on TV and just because they say Tiger Woods, you must think that you must have a pair. So would I buy a pair of these? No. If I were you, I wouldn't get them. Don't be like me. That's the lesson. If you want to learn anything today, children, don't be like me. Ready? What have we got here? Jordan 4s. Would I buy these if I were you? No, I wouldn't either buy these. I just don't think, as a golf shoe, they much of a golf shoe? That's my honest opinion. I don't think they are much of a golf shoe. More of a collector's item. I think it's quite sad. So what I recommend of all shoes I've tried, which ones would I recommend? Well, I think it'd have to be quite of a shock. I'd recommend these. The Joy Primers, I think they do everything. I think as an all-round shoe, these do everything. They look half decent, they make you look like you know what you're doing, even though you might not. They are comfortable. Yes, they might cost 160, 180 pounds, you know, but they're going to last, and they are very good. Very waterproof. I don't even get to talk about waterproofness. All the shoes are very waterproof, except for the old Tiger Woods. But these, I've worn these black ones now in winter, quite a lot of mud, you know, I'm not going through puddles and, you know, going in lakes and stuff, but very waterproof. They do exactly what they say on the tin. Very comfortable, good grip, good traction, especially if you put spikes on them. And the spikes that come with them, the soft spikes, are not too bad either, but I switched them up straight away. But for comfort, customization, different colours, different styles, and there's a style to fit every sort of player, you know, every sort of player, male or female. These, I think, are the ones. These are the ones for you. So there we go, everybody.
Whoa!
I hope you enjoyed my golf shoe review. Now I'm giving you a review. Please leave me a review. Goodbye.